Check levels. Levels check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Up a bit more. Okay, there we go. Maybe a little bit more. Oh, there we go. That's quite a nice spot. Hello, my name is Tomska, and welcome to the Turbo Punch podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by a racist bee. I just don't trust the French.
Tomska's Turbo Punch podcast.
So hello, in case you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Tomska Ridgewell. I make YouTube videos, and I've been doing it for quite an awkwardly long amount of time. 12 years, in fact. And I thought that since I have taken such a big pause from making stuff on the internet, mostly due to, not having a home for a while, and just other stuff, that I would try and remind you and say hello again through the power of a podcast, a talking-y me and you, just me and you, just me and the thousands of yous. It's a very emotional experience. So, what I'm going to bring up on this show, what I'm going to talk about, other than flailing my arms, which I'm going to try and control, I'm going to talk about what's coming up, and give you some previews of upcoming videos, some pretty exciting stuff. I'm going to be taking a lot of your questions, which you guys have tweeted at me already, to my Twitter, at the Tomska. Follow me, please. Not like, don't follow me like home. That's weird. That's actually never happened to me, which has been quite nice. And I'm just going to talk about some stuff. So, yes, let's get started. So, what is coming up? What is on the way for Tomska and DarkSquidge and all this? Well, most excitingly, asdfmovie8 is coming. asdfmovie8 is on its way. It's being animated right now. It's mostly been recorded. And it's going to be good, I think. What can I show you? What can I show you with your ears if you're just listening, if you're pretty casual? Here's a quick preview.
Oh, look at the little baby. And now look at the big baby. Wow.
Classic me. I think this one's going to be quite fun. I'm always a little worried when I make these that they're like, I'm kind of, maybe sometimes I feel like I'm forcing the jokes, especially with this one because it's been so long since I've done one. It's been, they normally come out once every 9 months. It's almost been a year since the last one. Basically those 3 months that it's late are thanks to the fact that I was without home and I was very worried and I just wasn't really making stuff like I should be. But it's coming, and it's coming on Friday. Surprise! It's coming up very soon. It's got some exciting cameos in it. We've got the lovely voice of Mr. PewDiePie and Mr. Markiplier, who I just said, "Hey, do you want to be in my thing?" And they were like, "Okay." And it's just weird. It's a weird thing. And there's another cameo in it that I don't think anyone's going to expect, unless you follow me on Twitter, in which case you already know. But shut the French doors. So that's coming along. Get excited. I've been doing these for so many years now, and after I put out the first one, my girlfriend at the time said, actually she was my ex-girlfriend, and she still cared about me, which was a mistake. She said, please don't do too many of these. Don't become typecast for just doing this. And I was like, okay. I lied. But we'd already broken up, so, it's not that bad. So what else is coming very soon? Well, the game we've been working on for the past bajillion months, which started, well, I guess it started being made in February, but we actually started making the game a long time ago. The journey began a long time ago, back in 2011, and I've done a blog post about it. I've done a whole blog about it, which I will link to. But first, I should tell you what the game is if you don't already know. So basically, I've been working on a game called KatataK, which is basically a mobile phone app version game thingy of Holy Shit Cats, one of my videos, and it's just, I think it's really cool. It's like in this 16-bit style. It's this side-scrolling shooter, so you tap the cats and you shoot them, and there are loads of characters, and there's just so much stuff that I'm excited about. I basically just I don't even know how to contain it. It's my first game, and I really want to make more, and it means a lot to me to make games because I love games, obviously, but I've just tried to keep it to a very authentic stage with making these games. I thought, hey, I should make a lot of money, so we'll release the game for free and then put ads and then put in-app purchases. But then I just kind of thought, fuck that. I mean, I asked you guys, and you guys gave me feedback that just confirmed what I already felt, which is that I just want to make a game. So this game is going to be available to purchase. You buy it one-off, and you unlock all the unlockables in the game by just playing the game. And if you can unlock everything in the game, you earn my respect, because some of them are pretty hard to unlock. So good luck when it comes out. But I've been doing a whole video series about it on this channel, DarkSquidge, and I have written a whole blog about it, which you can find at turbopunch.tumblr.com. And I know I said I'd never come back to Tumblr, but shut up. So that's coming. That's exciting. What can I show you of that? I can show you. If you've missed them, here's a quick little bit of the development videos that we've been making. So the other thing that's coming soon that I am extremely excited for is Crash Zoom, which is an animated web series that I have been working on even longer than the idea of KatataK the game. I've been working on this game since, I can't remember if it was late 2010 or early 2011, but basically just a very, very long time. I've been working on a show called Eddsworld for over 10 years now, and I've always wanted to just have my own thing, my own show, but obviously as someone who is not an animator, as someone who I just don't have the patience and the skills to animate. Not that that's really an excuse. I should just shut up and do it, but I've always wanted to have an animated series, but it's very hard to pin an animator down to that because it's a huge commitment. But after 4 years of being in Project Hell, I have finally taken Ben, my friend and just go-to animator guy, and nailed him down. Well, basically, he said yes, and he's been animating the pilot, and it's awesome, and I've been working with some great people on it. I've got my regular crew. I've got Dan on sound, Todd on music, and I've been working with this brilliant actress that I've discovered, Alice. So far of my videos, she's only been in Sniper Pug and Stupid Soldiers, as she was in Stupid Soldiers as the other commando, and she's awesome, and I get a really weird feeling about her that I just think she's going to be great, and I want to work with her a lot. So pretty much all my upcoming projects, she is scripted to be a major part of it. And yeah, just Crash Zoom is coming finally, and it's going to hopefully come in the next month or so, and it's just this 5-minute pilot to an animated series, and if it does well, then I will keep making it, and I will just be making it out of my own pocket. It's not that expensive to make. So I just really hope you like it. I'm so excited. It means so much to me to do this, and I want to thank Ben for working on it, and here is a preview. Okay, for this scene, what I want you to do is take this prop gun and shoot this prop old lady.
Hello.
Aww. Now shoot her in the face. Blah. In terms of anything else that's coming up on my channel or in my life, basically everything that's happening lives in this little book here, which, if you're just listening to me, I'm holding up my project bank, which is 18 pages now of every idea that I have never used, and I'm going to hold it away from the camera. Whoa, look at that. Because I don't want anyone to steal all my ideas. Oh no! Someone's already paused this video and they've tried to digitally enhance this, but luckily this page is just called Parodies, and it includes things such as a parody for the movie Matilda, which I'm never going to make, but I have to write it down or else it will live in my head. But there's so many things in this book. There's feature films, there's games, there's comic book series, there's sketches, there's basically every idea that I've had I put in this because I lose so much stuff. I always lose I lose my phone, or I lose my sketchbook, or I lose my hard drive. So I have this digital thing called a project bank, which I'm constantly updating, and I can essentially never lose. I also have hard copies of it. I'm so afraid of losing my ideas, and I just have such a bad memory. So, well, that's not necessarily true. I actually have quite a good memory, and that's the problem, is that when I have all these ideas living in my mind, I have to get rid of them and put them down somewhere. I basically just sound really pretentious right now. Pretentious and a bit sticky. It's quite hot in here. Wish I could turn a fan on. I can't, though. So, let's move on to question time, where I'm going to take some of your I'm not going to take, well, I mean, I've already taken them. I've already painstakingly gone through and screenshotted a fair few questions on Twitter, which you've asked me kindly, and I'm going to answer them now for you in an order. I am not very good at this talking to camera thing. I can't believe they let me on Radio 1. That was a mistake. Question time. So, let's take some questions. Rainbow Dash, the pony, I presume, says, how long did it take let's try that again. Rainbow Dash asks, how long did it take for you to become famous? It's the thing is, like, I would genuinely say that the point at which I guess I was famous has kind of passed in a way. Like, the point at which I was like this peak was about 2012 when I hit 1 million subscribers, and I think I was the 63rd person ever to hit 1 million subscribers, and that was kind of very much the peak, and that was sort of 10-11 years into me trying to become something on the internet. So, because basically the story is, when I was much younger, when I was about 10 years old, I saw this first little cartoon on the internet, and I never and it wasn't TV, it wasn't movies, and I just thought, I don't know what this is, but I want to do this. And this was long before YouTube, and I just knew that this is what I had to do, and I've been working ever since then. But I can pick up. Wait, hold on. I'm going to pick up something quite exciting. Is it so heavy? This is a stupid idea. This is one of my most prized possessions in the world of becoming YouTube famous. This is my gold YouTube plaque. Oh, hello, you. You can see yourself. That I got from having 1 million subscribers, which is exciting and also very heavy. Ow. No one's gonna steal that and make a quick getaway. Next question. The Dark Knight says, how high were you when you created the Stuff movie? That was not a very good Dark Knight impression, I'm really sorry. I was not high when I made Stuff movie because I don't do drugs. I done drugs once, and that was last year, and it was rubbish. I smoked a joint, and I don't know why I did that voice, I'm sorry. I smoked a joint, and I was just so ill, and I just slept for 36 hours straight, and then uploaded a video called The Fallen. I didn't make that while high. I wouldn't recommend it, personally. Cami asks, what's the thing you like the most about the people who watch your videos? Which is you, I presume. I think what I like the most is the kind of... This sounds laughable, I guess, but the maturity and the respect that I share specifically with my audience. Whenever I meet you guys in person, whenever I meet, my audience, there's no screaming and clawing. People will queue, they will be respectful, and they seem to like... You seem to like me for my work and not just for me. You don't treat me like a piece of meat, which is surprising because there is plenty of meat to treat. Okay, maybe not, but yeah, like I like the kind of this mutual respect that we have. I feel like we're in sync. We're in sync, and we're gonna make it to number one. Anna asks, if I hit myself and it hurts, am I too strong or too weak? Or am I too strong or too weak? That is a very deep question, Anna, and I'm gonna go with too weak. I'm sorry. You just can't handle it. Tam asks, what is the funniest line you've ever recorded? Genuinely, I think for me, the funniest line I've ever recorded, just a line that every time I listen to it and makes me laugh, is not a funny line, but it's a line from Eddsworld, from Hammer and Fail 2, wherein a haunted monster has inhabited our house, and I'm just trying to start a conversation with the neighbor, and for some reason the line delivery just makes me laugh, and it sounds like this.
Pardon me, neighbor, what a lovely day. Could we perchance borrow a cup of your finest sugar? Oh God, you gotta help us, our house is haunted, it'll glow, what's destroying monuments, does anyone have any of my trousers?
I don't know why that makes me laugh so much, but it does. I'm so sorry. Amy, I presume, says, what is your favorite gun? I mean, I couldn't possibly choose, I have so many. I think it would have to be my Glock 19. It just feels lovely, and it just makes such nice noise. That's just... Oh, I shouldn't be this excited about guns, but I am. Favorite Scott Pilgrim X? I would have to say my favorite X from Scott Pilgrim is Skinny Me. What is the secret of your beauty? It is flattering camera angles. Absolutely, it's all down to flattering camera angles. I learned a lot from MySpace, you see. Michael asks, why are you recording it this late? So it's 12 minutes to midnight right now, and the reason I'm recording this so late is because I've been trying to get this to work for about 8 hours and have just been failing miserably. For some reason, the drivers on my sound box have updated, and it's just, I was so determined to do this that I left work. I'm in my office right now. I left, I went home, and then I just came back. I was like, nope, I'm not giving up. I'm making a podcast. Shut up. August? Pepper Landgirl asks, how did you know that YouTube was what you wanted to do for a living and not just a hobby? Well, like I said earlier, it's what I've always wanted to do, and when YouTube came about, it was like, oh cool, a place where I can finally make live action videos. And then suddenly in 2008, the partnership, the money element was introduced, and I could make a living off it, and it was like, oh well, yeah, I'm gonna stick around here. This place is baller. Meme Lord Bewinged, great, asks, how long does it take you to make a video? Making a video can go sometimes from, you know, just I have the idea to we just go for it, and it's a simple idea, and it comes out, you know, inside of 5 days if it's a simple video or animation. Or it can sometimes take years. Like some of the ideas in my project bank have been in there for years and years and years and years, upwards of 8 years, some of them. So it completely varies. But I guess if I had a deadline, if I had a budget and a deadline, and someone said, you know, okay, we want you to make a video to promote something, here's some money, and you have 3 weeks, that would probably be about enough to just come up with an idea, write it, set everything up, shoot it, edit it. I'd say that editing and post-production with the team I have, a fantastic team of Dan and Todd and Andrew, who are my sound, music, and visual effects guys. With them, they can turn around all their bits inside of a day, 2 days, and if I work with a good editor, they can turn around about a day. So genuinely, if I was super pressed for it, I could probably make a whole video in a week. You know, a video of Sniper Pug-esque scale, which would be a terrifying task, but a possible one. Chloe asks, favorite thing about MCM Glasgow Comic Con? I mean, my favorite thing would just be going and meeting people and that, but I can tell you what my least favorite thing was, and that was having someone dressed as Walter White conga line past me and scream crystal meth for Tomska, or crystal meth for Tomska, and then throw wet blue sugar at my face in literally the last hour of a 2-day con, when I'm exhausted and tired, and I mean, you meant well, but and I know you wrote about how much fun you had doing it on Tumblr. I found you. Oh, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Okay.
Abby asks, who is your favorite comedian / actor? The actor I would most like to work with is Matthew Perry. I just love him. I think he's great. From Friends to 17 Again, I think he's wonderful, and I want to marry him in a creative and also romantic way. Favorite comedian, though, that definitely changes. Dylan Moran is great. He's Irish and drunk and tired and sad, and I love him. And also Dimitri Martin is just great. He's very dry and funny and good times. But I guess if I had to pick my favorite stand-up, it would be Bo Burnham. Just hands down, old school YouTuber turned big time comedian. I love him, and he's incredible. And if I had to, he's so good. And I've been watching him since, I think, his 3rd video back at the very, very beginning. And he's just, so good. Leia, sorry, how do you change a silly idea from a sketch into a well thought out and professional short film? Well, professional is a very nice thing to say. Wrong, but very nice. Basically what happens is I come up with an idea. It can be anywhere. It can be sometimes on a bus, or just walking around, or talking with friends. The first thing I will do is I will write it down on my phone into my notes, and there it will sit for a little while, and then I will sketch it in my book if it's just a gag or something. And if it doesn't immediately fit to something, it will get put into the project bank as just a miscellaneous thought, or it will go into it as a fully formed sketch. So basically I just kind of write down the basic idea, and then when the time comes, when I feel like I'm ready to make this video, I will call in my friend Eddie, whose username is Ep1, and we will write it together. I realized that I write much better with him. We bounce off each other really well, and it's just meant that I'm actually doing work, which is good. So that's mostly it. Matt asks, what happened to that documentary you were a part of? So I was being filmed for a documentary for quite a while a few days, about YouTube, and it's still being made, and it's coming out soon-ish. It's this half-an-hour documentary. I don't really know how much I'm allowed to talk about, but I'm going to anyway. It's a documentary that focuses on me, Zoella, and Nikki and Sammy, and I genuinely don't know if it's possible to pick a YouTuber more polar opposite to me in terms of style and content and everything than Zoella. And I think congratulations on them, because you genuinely get such a massive range on this documentary about YouTube. I'm not that keen on me in it because I just look so big. I have gained weight and I don't like it, but the shot is just so bad. The interview shot is so... makes me not... I probably won't tweet it out that much. I can't take it. Like, I don't really care about my weight when I do, but I just... the responses... Vicky asks, will you ever consider cosplaying at London MCM Expo, or any Comic-Con for that matter? It's quite hard because I have to meet a lot of people, and you want to be in the most comfortable, natural clothes you can. Technically, I have cosplayed once, or at least someone thought I had, because I was at a convention. I was at the MCM Expo in London, and I wanted to just browse. I wanted to leave my table and explore it for a bit. And what I did is I put on my big coat, popped up my collars, and I put on this big like airsoft face mask that looked like a big fencing mask. And I just tried to walk around the con, and immediately people knew who I was somehow. I guess wearing checkered shoes didn't help, but one person stopped me and said, "I love your cosplay. Can I get a photo with you?" And I took a photo with a person who may have been a fan. They had no idea who I was. I was just a guy wearing a fencing mask and a big trench coat, and I have no idea who they thought I was, but that's part of their experience. Maybe they were a fake nerd guy who was just like, "Oh yeah, I totally know all these things. That's cool. Maybe girls will like me now." Yeah, maybe that was it. Halloween name, wait, hold on, asks, what is the first real, holy shit, this YouTube thing is becoming a big moment? For me, it was probably back when Ashton Kutcher tweeted out asdfmovie8, which was weird. I was online at about 2 a.m. and I found out about this. I only found out about it because one person in the comments was like, "Ashton Kutcher sent me here," which is a weird thing to see. And this was back when Ashton Kutcher was the most followed person on Twitter, and that was pretty wild. That was back in, I guess, 2010, very, very early 2010. And that was just really, really intense. And my dad walked in because I was like, at 2 a.m. And he was like, "Hey, shut up." And I was like, "Dad, Ashton Kutcher just tweeted me. He's the biggest guy on Twitter." And my dad was like, "No, he's not. Stephen Fry is," and then left. So, I mean, he was wrong, but it would have been cooler if Stephen Fry had tweeted out my video. Oddly enough, getting tweeted out by Ashton Kutcher did nothing for the video either. It didn't increase it by views, which is fine. No worry, no, I'm not bitter. Kida says, "Help, I'm being attacked, what do I do?" Well, first of all, you stop tweeting at me, and you obviously tweet at the police. Duh. Diamond and Lava, who clearly loves Minecraft, asks, "Why are you so gay?" And I picked this question not because of the question itself, but just because of your header. Because it is exactly what I would expect the person to ask why I'm so gay to have as their header. I applaud you for being so very self-aware. You go get your 360 no scopes and insult someone's mother. I believe in you. Phil asks, where did you get the idea for the "I love it" horse? I really like that character too. Did you tweet that more than once? How many of these have you tweeted? Am I going to go back on Twitter to discover you've tweeted this 50 times? Am I now Justin Bieber and you're just desperate for my attention? Basically, the way that character came about was when I shot the video, The Fallen, where Mrs. Johnson first appears in about a year before it actually came out, because I actually had to shoot it twice, because I shot it once for a company and the video was done, end card and all, and then it got pulled. They were like, you can't upload this video for just their personal reasons, basically, and I had to just drop the video. And at this point, the video didn't have Mrs. Johnson in it. She was not a part of the video. The video just ended with PJ shooting the nagging wife in the head. So great, good job. But what had happened is he'd brought this horse mask to the set. He'd brought this horse mask to the shoot because I'd asked him to bring random props that I could base sketches around. And when we came to do the video second time, I wrote in a character with the horse mask specifically, but he didn't have a horse mask. So I'd written a character based on the fact that he had a horse mask, and he didn't even have it anymore. So I had to go out of my way to now justify writing this character in, and genuinely, Eddie, who I was writing it with, hated the idea of this character suddenly being at the end. Like, it was like, this isn't funny. And then I kind of just went like, yeah, but what if she's like, I love it, and she like throws a thumbs up and stuff, and he was like, maybe, I guess. And then when we came to shooting it, I went, I love it. And then I said to Jack, who was there at the time, I said, Jack, we should zoom the camera in and put Jump by Van Halen over it, and it'll be funny. And that's entirely how the character came about. Well, it really took a long time explaining that. I'm very sorry, but it was purely just messing around. The next time Mrs. Johnson popped up was in Coming Out, and she was supposed to just be tucked in a background shot, a big wide shot of everyone, and you weren't even going to notice her. Like, that was going to be like, she wasn't going to be coming back as a big character. But then I was like, just grab a close up and I'll do it again. And then I ended up ending the sketch like that as well. And I just kept doing it, and it makes me laugh, and I just love it, and I'm not going to stop. Becky asks, what is the lowest you've ever been, and how did you work through it? Oh, goodness. Okay, so from a question about me wearing a horse mask and a dress and prancing about, to a question about how sad I've been. Well, genuinely, I think the lowest I've ever been, I mean, I don't want to get too heavy, of course, but might be around about now, right now, and I know this is quite personal, but right now I'm off my medication. I just kind of personally wanted a break from it, and that's mental, but I did it. I just kind of cut these drugs out, which was a bad idea, and I think it's actually made me physically ill. Don't do that. Don't just jump off meds. That was a stupid idea. So I'm quite low now, but what I am more so is I'm actually more angry than I've ever been in my life, which is really weird. Like, I just feel physically angry all the time. Like, I need to yell and shout, and I put a knife through this desk while trying to set up the sound thing, so I'm not that stable. But the lowest I ever got was earlier this year on my way to Playlist Live, and I just had, I basically I basically just read something nasty on Tumblr, and it shouldn't have affected me at all, but I guess it would just hit me at just a right little pocket of weakness when I got onto this flight, and I don't know, it's really hard to say, but I genuinely think I got a bit suicidal, and I'm sorry, this is taking a really dark turn, but I really, really I just couldn't handle it, and I spent this whole flight, this whole 7-hour flight, just kind of just thinking, I want to die. I just want to die. I'm just going to die. I should die. I want to die. And it got to this really unhealthy point where I wrote in my sketchbook a list of pros and cons and of being alive anymore, and that was so fucked up. And the way I got through it was I just forced myself to be around my friends at the time, just so that I couldn't. I just basically not let myself be alone until I was just so exhausted that I would go home and fall asleep, and that was it. So that was it really. That was like the lowest point, and then I kind of picked up after that, and yeah, that was the darkest point. But what I did is that I surrounded myself with friends and distractions and just wrote it out, because it was. That's not the solution. That's not an answer. That's not, for me, that's not even an option. It was just like, it was so weird to me to be like, oh wow, I'm genuinely having these thoughts. I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe I would even think this and stuff. I had a little moment of pretentiousness though when I was that sad, and because I was just like staring really morosely into this blank aeroplane TV screen in the seat in front of me. I was just looking at my like distorted reflection, and I ended up taking a photo of my reflection and then posting it on Instagram because I'm just a dickhead. So there is a photo of me on Instagram at a point where I'm like, I should just kill myself. And it's so wanky. But don't kill yourself. Please try and keep yourself distracted and ride out that period. And if that period doesn't go away, then go forth and seek medical help and just... I don't know. I really wish I had an answer for this, but as someone who is such a wreck, I'm not so much an authority on the subject as I am just a prime example. Yay. Very relevant question coming up. Not even a question, really. M says, I am depressed and you told me to go to the doctor once. I did. It's okay. I mean, good. I'm very proud of you, M. Thank you for doing that. Good job. Do you mean it's okay as in like, yeah, it's okay. I went to the doctor, it's okay. Or it's okay now. But good job, M. I'm glad. Ben asks, how do you come up with the jokes for your videos? Basically what happens is I just sit around and I wait for brain farts. I just wait for that point when it's like, hey, an idea. And I'm like, okay. I never know when they're going to happen. Right now they've been happening a lot. And that's really worrying to me because basically it seems that I come up with all my ideas when I am depressed as shit. When I am in a completely dark place. And when I am like this, genuinely the only thing I want to do is work. And right now for the past 2 nights I've slept in my office, and I just want to film this podcast, and I just want to write jokes, and that's all I want to do, and that's when I'm the best at what I do. So genuinely, I come up with the jokes for my videos by being really miserable and desperately trying to just find joy, which is healthy. Oh, this took a turn, didn't it? Let's bring it up, shall we? Mr. Antoine Daniel asks, do you speak French? Oui, senor. Mon burrito est baguette. Okay. I lied. I don't speak French. I'm sorry. Matthew asks, do you see KatataK as an extension of your comedy work? Do you see KatataK as an extension of your comedy work or as a separate endeavor? Would you do further games? Yes, I kind of see KatataK not as an extension of my comedy work, but just as my desire to make things and tell stories and just entertain. So it's an extension of just my desire to create and entertain. But I do want to make more games. I have in my book here. I have 4 more games that I want to make, like just for mobile. So yeah, I want to make a hell of a lot more games. And you can't stop me. Gitangzo. I don't know, you're a Pokemon, I don't care. Asks, how is your diet going? Awfully. It's going really well if my diet is supposed to be me just eating all the time, because that's going great. Cornel asks, would you come to France if a YouTube event thing is organized? Yeah, I can come to France, I guess. I don't see no reason not to. Don't go France, Tom. They're all evil. Don't trust them. Tom asks, any advice for not drinking so much? Genuinely, for me, it's as someone who does drink too much, because it's something that picks me up, I guess, which is really bad. But I used to look for any excuse to drink. Now I look for any excuse not to drink. So right now I'm doing Go Sober for October, which is a thing where you don't drink for October, and people support that, and they give you money. And genuinely, the only person who's done that so far for me has been my girlfriend, because she doesn't want me to drink because I drink too much and I gain too much weight and stuff. So if you feel like just giving away some of your money, please do. I'll include a link to my Go Sober for October thing in the description, and anything you can donate would be wicked. I'll keep not drinking, and we'll raise some money for people who need it, clearly more than I do. Howley asks, what is a band you like and we should discover? Ska bands are definitely my kind of thing. Some of my favorite bands, and the thing is, like, because I like ska, like, so many people are kind of just breaking up right now. But my favorite bands include Streetlight Manifesto, The Hippos, who who are just awesome. I voted for Kodos, which is a line from The Simpsons, and a good band. And who else? The Planet Smashers. I really like the early Planet Smashers stuff, so just check them out for starters. Or if you just want to get some really basic ska, check out Real Big Fish, because, yeah. Francesca asks, recommend some YouTubers, please. It's the recommendation segment. Recommend some YouTubers. Okay, well, you got Britannic.com, or just Britannic, who are my favorite YouTubers. By far, like, whenever I make a video, I just watch like 10 of theirs to get inspired first, and you can see some really shallow parallels between their videos and my videos, which I am ashamed of in some sense, but also they're the videos I want to make. Like, it's just such a perfect sync up. They are amazing. One of my favorite YouTubers right now is a British YouTuber called It's a Me Mileo, or Miles Wheeler. He is so great. He has such a great vlogging style. It makes me laugh. It's awesome. He does good job. Good job, Miles. Go check him out. Anyone else? I mean, I guess I should mention some of my friends. My friends Mike and Jacob are this great comedy duo. They are identical twins, and they are just naturally hilarious. Like, they are complete polar opposite people, and just they're so funny. And luckily they got a YouTube channel and started doing sketches that really capture how great their dynamic is, and it's just as funny being around them as is watching their channel. So check out the Fratocrats. All of these things I will include links to either in this video or in the description. So yes, Britannic, It's a Me Mileo, and Fratocrats. Those are 3 channels I would solidly recommend. What's your vlog setup like? Camera, editing software, etc. So I'll show you what the setup I have right now is. I'll get out my camera and film what I'm looking at. So what I'm looking at right now is this is my screen that's showing all your tweets and that I'm just recording into a crappy photo booth. Here is my microphone, and it's running into my laptop, which is running into GarageBand because I don't have any real good software. And this is my sound booth, which has ruined my life. I hate you. And that's it for this setup. My vlogging setup though is normally like a Canon 60D or something, just on a tripod with a shotgun microphone on the top, or a boom mic coming from underneath. And what we edit things in is I'm gonna edit this in Final Cut 7 because I genuinely haven't learned how to use Final Cut X, which is apparently vastly superior. I know that Elliot, who's currently editing a lot of my videos, he works in Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects. Some people use Avid. There are loads of programs, and just mess around really. Just find the thing that works for you, but they all basically do the same stuff. Final question. What's the hardest part of the creative process, and does it change if you're making an animated video versus something live action? I don't know why I slowed down. I felt like I made that sound more emotional. Let's try that again. Julianne asks, what's the hardest part of the creative process, and does it change if you're making an animated video versus something live action? Basically, well, with the creative process, with the initial coming up with the ideas, the one thing that changes when it's a live action video is the one thing that changes when it's an animated video is you can do anything. When you're coming up with a live action video, it's like, this would be really funny if there was a scene in this church, but I know that if I say there's a scene in this church, that adds an extra maybe 500 to £1,000 onto the budget, which is pretty massive when suddenly, and then suddenly accidentally a 1-minute sketch that's only going to get 1 million views costs £4,000. And 1 million views doesn't make you that much, really. It keeps the channel alive, and that's great, but maybe that'll only make back a few £100. So, I have a very, very low CPM, which is basically how much you make per 1,000 views. And I have very low CPM because I'm not with a network. I've always been just off the standard YouTube CPM. And so I don't know why. I'm just allergic to money. But the hardest part of the creative process for me, I guess, is just believing something's funny, and because I'm my most creative when I'm my most depressed, it means that I come up with a lot of good ideas, but I don't genuinely feel like they're funny, so I just have to rely on the knowledge that they're funny, which is very weird and very strange. So I have a lot of friends like friends like Jack Howard, who he's funny and he has fun, and then he comes up with an idea and he goes with the idea, and that's great, good for him. Whereas for me, it's like the best I'm going to be is yes, that is logically very funny. That is a good subversion of expectations, and I can't really tell a video is funny until it's out. So it's just a big risk, really. And Asta movie is a huge risk. Like, there's about 3 jokes right now that in my head I'm like, I feel like I'm going to regret these when it comes out. These aren't very good, but we'll just wait and see. Maybe I'll be wrong about those. And one of the jokes I thought was going to be really funny was the don't think about cats blah joke. I thought that was going to be really funny, and it's just not. It's just rubbish. So yeah, the hardest part for me is just believing in myself and just understanding if something's going to be good or if something's going to be funny. But I guess you just kind of had to have faith in yourself, and that goes for anything. A project you started, a lot of people just give up hope and just give up because they don't believe in themselves. But you started it for a reason, because you had the natural drive to, and you should finish it even if it is shit, because at least you'll learn something, and then the next time you make something you'll do something better. So yeah, be shit, make a shitty thing, don't worry about it, just finish it. You'll be happy if you finish something, because you'll be able to say you did it. I have so many unfinished projects and I'm just embarrassed, and I just hate them, and that's why I just hate that I haven't finished them, and that's why I'm gonna be doing another scrapped week soon, which is basically where I upload a selection of videos that were never finished, to kind of not only get them off my chest, get them out of my head and off my computer, but also to just show you, that it's not all, glory and just great ideas. Sometimes I'm just like, yes, this is shit, I'm just gonna stop. So yeah, don't give up, or do give up, but do it with style. So those were some questions. I went on for a while there, but I used to do weekly things where people would ask me questions live and I'd answer them, and it was good fun. But then all the services I used broke, so I want to get back to asking questions. So hopefully next time we'll do the Twitter thing. You'll tweet me questions at the Tomska when I ask you to, not just any time, because that's just a lot of work. And we'll do more questions. That's gonna be good. Thank you so much for sending in your questions though, guys. So not much to do now, just time to wrap up this little podcast thingy. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you had a good time. I recorded the podcast, just an audio only podcast, with a group of my friends, with Elliot, Eddie, and Chloe, and I've put that on SoundCloud. That's a 48-minute podcast of us just prattling on, and I'm calling it the Turbo Pals podcast, and I kind of want to do that weekly as well as this, just because it's a fun little authentic, just get to know us, get to hang out with us, really, just waste some time in your ears. Whereas this is going to be more direct and intimate and sexy, and not sexy, you're still 12. But yes, guys, thank you for coming. I hope this was interesting. Leave me feedback and comments below. Your feedback will probably be, Tom, don't use such a bad camera. But I'm gonna. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Tomska, out. I'm still in. Shit.